Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It is me, your boy, TPT, coming at you, not live and not from Twitch TV. So, today, I am going to be explaining to you why Marines are garbage and don't really achieve anything. So, if you don't know, there's a select few countries in the world, of which the two best examples are most likely Castile and Great Britain, in which you unlock the ability to use Marines. Now, they are already quite niche, as you can't get them as most countries, unless, of course, you take naval ideas, which I would never recommend if you guys have seen my idea groups videos. And they have a few bonuses, and a few negatives too. So, they ignore crossing penalties, they use sailors, their disembark speed is 300%, and they have plus 10% shock damage taken. So, my question is, when in the ever-to-lovey fuck would you actually need to use these guys? Well, there's a few very niche situations. First of all, for example, you're trying to invade England. Okay, so we get all of our Marines, we pile them up and we send them over. Okay, except there's a slight problem with that flaw. Only 5 to 10% of your force limit is going to be Marines. Alright, so even say you have 100 force limit, alright, that means that no more than about 10 of your guys are going to be Marines. Okay, and are you even going to have the sailors at that point? No one knows. But, about 10 guys are going to be Marines. So you're going to sail on over here with your 10 guys and their 10 little transport ships. And assuming you can actually make it to land, you're just going to get wiped out. You're just going to get stack wiped because of the fact that you've only got 10,000 guys and England is probably rocking at least a 40k stack on its home island. Alright? The problem with Marines is you're never going to get enough of them. Their benefits don't weigh back their weaknesses. Like, it says user sailor, yes, in green. That's not a benefit. That's a weakness, okay? You don't get, a huge amount of sailors. We've got 6k here. We only replenish 50 a month, okay? So, if we have 6k, sure, we can recruit 6. But, 1,000 divided by 50. Oh, hey, look at that. It takes us over a year to get enough for a single Marine. So, if you get stack wiped, good fucking luck, Sonny Jim. And you will be getting stack wiped because you're going up against England with 10 Marines. Alright? There are only some extremely situational or intensely macro-heavy points that I can imagine them being useful in, okay? So, the first theory crafting I did with Marines, essentially, is you have 2 transport fleets. You have one filled with a few thousand Marines, which you land as quickly as possible on a place that the English can't get to. And you have a second naval transport fleet right there, filled with about 40,000 normal troops. And so you land the Marines, and then you instantly land the 40k troops behind them. Now, that doesn't sound like a horrible plan. It sounds okay, except for the fact that if you're beating England in the Navy game enough to actually do that in the first place, then chances are you could probably just land on them with normal troops as well. So, I didn't really see the point in that either. And their other, negative is shock damage taken plus 10%. That's quite a lot of damage, especially in the early game. That's a lot of fucking damage, That is a significant amount of damage, which you're going to be finding it hard to replace because of the fact that you only generate 50 sailors per month. So it's doubled, even worse, the negatives. And as for the crossing penalties, that is basically useless. Alright? First of all, if you have a higher maneuver general than the enemy, you don't even get those crossing penalties in the first place. And second of all, they are literally worse than frontline troops. -1 dice roll versus plus 10% shock damage taken. Honestly, I'd probably just take the dice roll if you ask me. I would probably just take the dice roll over 10% shock damage taken for a troop that I can't replenish very easily. Now, I guess you could also argue that they could be supplementary, because typically once you get to a certain point, you don't really run out of sailors, which I think is probably a fair argument to make. You know, if you like to save like a fraction of your manpower, because again, you know, we have like almost 6 times as much about 5 times as much manpower as we have sailors. So if you wanted to save like a fraction of your manpower, I guess you could argue that you could use some Marines, but again, they're just objectively worse troops in my opinion. So they cost the same amount too. There's no discounts or anything on them, and they achieve less. So I haven't really found any good way, and I haven't found anyone who's told me any good way to actually use Marines effectively, because in any case that you're using them with naval supremacy, chances are you'd be able to kill that person with just normal troops anyway, because you've already got naval supremacy. You know, because if you want to use Marines, they're best backed up by a standard stack, and if you've got a standard stack that's there, then chances are you've probably already got naval supremacy. So I just can't find myself seeing a, you know, like, I just can't find myself seeing a potential solid use for them outside of either extreme nuance or bare near pointlessness, which is saving manpower, because it's negligible. You know, it doesn't achieve that much. Anyway, guys, look, I just wanted to make a video about why I thought that that Marines are bad. You know, I don't think they're good, and I don't think Paradox will ever make them good. I think they're a niche at best and downright pointless at worst. You know, I don't see the point in them. Anyway, guys, like I said, I'll see you all next time. Peace.